Hey, it's Lisa, and today I'm making a chili mac and cheese. The ingredients you need: 4 cups of chicken broth, 1 onion that's been diced, 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 can of red kidney beans. I do rinse them off because they're usually pretty salty. 1 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes. Mine are fire roasted, but any diced tomatoes could work. I'm using a can of black beans. The original recipe did suggest white kidney beans, but I like black beans, so I'm going to use those. 10 ounces of elbows, 8 ounces of either ground beef or I'm using ground turkey. I'm actually going to use the whole package. It's double the amount of meat you're supposed to have. It's 16 ounces, but I have to use this up and I'm probably not going to use it otherwise, so I'm just going to put the whole 16 ounces in. Plus, Sean is not a big fan of the beans and things like that, so I'm thinking extra meat might make him like it more. So I'm going to actually do the whole package, but the original recipe does say only 8 ounces, not 16. And then you want 1.5 cups of cheddar cheese. I'm just using this Mexican 4-cheese blend. Step 1 is to saute the onions, the garlic, and also the meat, the ground meat. You can use a little bit of olive oil if you want. A lot of times the ground beef has enough fat that you don't really need it, but that's your own personal preference. Maybe just a tablespoon of olive oil just to saute everything together. The ground turkey meat, the onions and garlic have all been cooked together, and now you're going to add in the chicken broth, the beans, the tomatoes, and the chili powder. And you're going to bring it up to just a slow boil, and at that point we'll add in the pasta. Okay, it's simmering now, so I'm going to add in the 10 ounces of pasta. You're going to bring it to a full boil, and then you're going to reduce the heat and just cook it until the pasta is completely cooked. The elbows are just about finished. I'm letting the last of the liquid kind of cook off. And then the last step is to add in the cheese, let it melt in thoroughly, and then enjoy it. Here's the completed dish. I did add a little bit of extra cheese on the top of the individual bowls. My opinion is that it definitely has a kick to it. There is a spice in the background that you can taste. I love spicy things, so for me it's perfect. Sean does not like spicy things, so we'll see what he thinks, but there's definitely a heat to it. I don't feel like there's too much cheese. It was just, a small amount of cheese kind of mixed in once you used it all into the whole pot. So that's why I did add a little bit more on top. And you definitely have to like beans to like this meal because it's every bite there's beans in it. So you definitely have to be a fan of beans to enjoy this. That's another thing that Sean doesn't like, so we'll see what he thinks. And I also feel that using the whole pound of meat was a good idea. I think that the ratio is perfect. I don't feel like there's too much meat and not enough of the other items. So if I were to make it again, I would do the whole pound of meat again. But we're going to have Sean taste it and get his opinion as well. All right, so what are you thinking before you taste this?
I think we should have something else ready for me to eat.
All right, we'll try to get a little bit of everything on there to get a real taste for what it is. Fiona's eating something on the floor too.
It's not terrible,
Okay.
but I definitely feel the heat.
Yeah, there's definitely a kick to it. What else do you think? Do you think it's really cheesy or not so much?
I like the cheesy part because I think that's enabling me to eat it. So there's that.
Right, if there was no cheese, you probably wouldn't even
No.
finish the bite. Well, you don't like beans that much. I mean, you don't really eat them very often. What do you think about that?
I think they're fine.
You do?
Yeah. I don't think that's really the issue. I think it's more the heat.
The heat for you? So
I don't really eat chili, so
if we made it again, but we left out the chili powder. We just did all the flavors and stuff, but it wasn't the heat, then what do you think?
Maybe. I mean, that would change this drastically, I think. Because that's all I have in my mouth right now is chili powder.
It's not that strong. He doesn't like anything even slightly spicy. I like really spicy things, so I guess we're kind of the two opposites there. There's definitely a kick to it, but it's not so hot that you can't enjoy the food.
No, that's because anything that's really spicy is bad for me. Because I don't know if my taste buds are just overly sensitive to it, which they are. And I think that's why it's high.
Okay, well, I'm surprised you're eating still a couple forkfuls. That's more than I thought you would. I thought I was gonna have a big pot for myself all week. Fiona.
Probably will. I'm just eating it because I'm hungry.
Oh, okay. Okay, any last bit of advice?
Yeah, if you don't like spice, just leave out the chili powder.
Yeah, I actually think I would probably maybe even dice up a green pepper and add that into it, because I like pepper in chili and things like that. I didn't put it in because I know you hate peppers, but I probably would have tried that. I actually do like beans, but I may go a little bit lighter on the beans if I were to do it again. You need 4 cups of chicken broth. You need 4 cups of chicken broth, 1 onion that's been diced, 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, 2 I'm sorry. Okay. You need 4 not again. Okay. I'm just filming you chewing.
I know. Why do you do that?
I'm proud of you. You're eating beans.